Here we go!
Hey, what's up, Blue Blurs? This is Gamer Blake 90, your proud chief of the Blue Blurs, baby, and welcome back to my channel. For this video, we are going to be wrapping up my Sonic 1 playthrough series as we prepare to go to the last stage of the game, and that is the Scrap Brain Zone, also known as Eggman's headquarters, on the island where he first set his plans into motion. And since I think the event of Sonic 1 took place on South Island, if I remember how the Game Gear version went correctly, and yeah, there's an 8-bit Game Gear version of Sonic 1 and Sonic 2. I'm pretty sure it's a well-known fact by now. So boy oh boy, the Scrap Brain Zone. This is a brain buster of a stage. You literally don't get more than a second's worth of your time to get your bearings back before you have to tackle the stage's hazards head on, because they are endless. The list could go on forever, but I'll try to get as much of it as I can. You got these rotating platforms where you really have to watch your step, underground flamethrowers, those Bob-omb Badnik wannabes that we came across in Starlight Zone, trapdoors that could potentially lead you to death pits. Well, do you really need me to go on? I think this video will do more than speak for itself as to how stressful this is gonna be. Jeez, I have a hard time deciding if the Scrap Brain Zone is more hated than the Labyrinth Zone, honestly. Both are definitely a pain, but who is more painful than the other is the difficult question here. By the way, don't panic too much here. As long as you get off the top of the block and move toward the left of it while it heads towards the wall, it's never going to crush you. The only time it will is you stay on top of the panel rather than go to the side of it. So it's pretty easy to contend with, but what's not easy is once again talking and playing at the same time, because I totally forgot that flamethrower was there. And as well, you have those bear badniks that will drop bombs trying to take you by surprise. Those are pretty easy to avoid, but when attacking them head on, you're going to want to pay attention so you don't time your attack at the same time they chuck a bomb, or a trade will happen and you're going to lose all your rings in the process. You don't want that. Also, something I've come to realize about the Scrap Brain Zone is that the special stage rings don't appear here, even in the first act. They just don't show up in the zone, period. So you have up until the Starlight Zone to make your attempts at the special stages, and then, well, you're not going to get another shot unless you decide to restart the save file or you start a new one. And speaking of special stages, I meant to get this video up like yesterday, because I'd actually already recorded my playthrough of this, as well as the last special stage where I did manage to get the Chaos Emerald after about 5 tries, because it was that difficult. But when I went to edit that video, it was plagued by frame rate drops everywhere. Like, I couldn't even upload it because the frame rate drops occur at crucial points of the video, including my first actual completion of the special stage, which is why this video took much longer than I would have liked for it to finally go up. So I want to apologize for the delay in this upload, but we're finally back in action, and as far as the special stage, I'm going to show it to you once we beat the game. That way, y'all won't miss out on it, because I like to think I'm a man of his word, and I did promise you that we get to see all of them, including that headache of a special stage that I tried to tackle twice in Starlight Zone and failed miserably. But anyway, we got the return of these rotating discs. Well, not so much the return, because this was their first appearance here before they made to the Metallic Madness Zone in Sonic CD. But yeah, we got those rotating discs that, if you time your jump off them correctly, will launch you really, really up high. So it's something to make use of, because you're going to need it in order to progress through the stage. And yeah, look at this, dude. I understand that for a final stage, this is supposed to be much harder than everything else you come across, but boy, does Sega make you sweat it out. You saw it a bit ago with that narrow passageway where you had electric generators up along the ceiling and grounded flamethrowers at the bottom. And speaking of electric generators, in the original Sonic 1, your only way of avoiding them was to run up here and roll to lower your hitbox enough so you could go right past them unscathed. Because if you stood up, you just get hit. And you didn't have the spin dash either, like we do now because, you know, mobile remake, but back then, Oh boy, imagine trying to play the Scrap Brain Zone without the Spin Dash or the Sonic 3 shields. You don't really need the Sonic 3 shields, honestly, but they do make this stage significantly easier. Like, look at this. The electric shield makes it so you don't have to have heart attacks trying to make it across this gap, while timing your jumps across these disappearing platforms. And then we have these Cabal Buzzsaws. Cabal's a Mortal Kombat character if you didn't understand the reference. But between these and the conveyor belts moving you backwards, if you manage to get through there untouched exactly as I did, you're clearly a god at this game. Because I have no idea how I ever managed to beat this stage as a kid looking at it. I honestly don't. It was that much of a handful. And then when you get to the third act, it becomes twice as painful because for whatever reason, they decided to bring the Labyrinth Zone back, as that act is flooded in water. But we do have the Bubble Shield in the mobile remake, although I don't think I ever spotted it there. So, I think the fact that I've had a lot of practice on this stage before recording this video really helped my case in making it look kinda easy. Even though it actually isn't. But familiarity is your best friend here. So yeah, that's the second act over and done with, and we have just one more act ahead of us. But before we get to that, we got unfinished business with the Egghead here. This guy thinks he can just waltz on through my Green Hill Zone, snatch up my animal friends, and just dump me into the third act of a Scrap Brain Zone, which feels a lot more like waste disposal. Cause look at this. Look at this. This is, I hate this stage. I seriously hate it. It looks beautiful, I'll admit, but other than that, it's mainly a palette swap from the original Labyrinth Zone, and I imagine this is where Eggman goes to, dispose of his trash when he's done with it, and if so, well, thanks a lot, Egghead. You're doing a lot of damage on the environment as it is. Because then you have this water here, which is tinted purple, instead of the green water you've seen in the Labyrinth Zone, where it's the purple water, and there it is. Granted, you could cut out 75% of the stress from this stage by taking that shortcut at the very beginning. You see, there's a lower passageway to the left. If you just fall off a sliding panel and then run ahead of it, you can find that shortcut, and it will dramatically reduce your workload for this stage, like a ton. It becomes a breeze at that point. But I feel like challenging myself right now. You might think I'm crazy given the stage that we're on right now, but I feel like it. Plus, I'm curious to see if they dropped a bubble shield somewhere around here. They probably didn't. I might be hoping for too much, but I couldn't help myself. Plus, I haven't played through this part of Scrap Brain Act 3 in a while. And thank God that the Sonic 1 spike bug was fixed in this remake, because if it hadn't been, I think... Oh, come on, give me a bubble. Give me a bubble, please. Come on, don't give me a heart attack like that. We were like a millisecond away from drowning, and it waited until the last second to give me a bubble. Sega, I swear, man, you guys are sated. Oh my gosh, I thought we were done there, but we're not. And, well, there it is again. Come on, give me a bubble, give me a bubble, give me a bubble. I said give me a bubble, please. Seriously, Sega, don't play with me like that. Ah! How many times is it that we've heard the drowning theme go off with playthrough? Was it like 3 or 4 times? I've lost count, honestly. And I kind of lied. I said earlier that the Labyrinth Zone was the only time you ever have to contend with water, but nope. Scrap Brain Zone is the only other addition to make to that list. Man, I'm making a lot of corrections while trying to sound intelligent about a game I'm supposed to know about after having played it for 30 years, and I'm not doing such a good job with that, am I? And frankly, I'm not doing a good job trying to make it so the drowning theme doesn't go off. I think on second thought, I'd like to take that shortcut, please. Alright, let's take that switch. And you know, the sucky thing about being underwater with Tails is that you can't take advantage of his ability to carry you while you're underwater. Oh god, no. Oh my god, I think we're gonna drown here. We're totally gonna drown. Yup. Shoot. It finally happened. First instance of Sonic drowning in his playthrough. And we're already back here at the very beginning. You know what? I changed my mind. Screw challenging myself. We're taking the shortcut. I don't care anymore. I straight up don't care. Yeah, we're gonna go this way instead. This will make it so much better to deal with. All those routes you'd have to take just to get to the very end, those are no longer a thing. You just come over here, jump over this bed of water, then fall right past here, and then you gotta go to the upper right and you will find the exit from the third act. So for anybody playing this game and struggling tremendously with this zone, don't even bother challenging yourself like that. Just take the shortcut. It's not worth the headache. You've already seen that firsthand. And here we are, guys, at the final zone. Although, if you ask me, this is kind of an underwhelming final boss for the first Sonic game. Even without the spin dash. Because see, how it works is, you got me 4 pistons right here, right? 2 of them will drop randomly at a time. You gotta avoid them, attack the one that Eggman is hiding inside, and then after you do, you gotta avoid the orbs of energy that Eggman tries to shoot at you. But those are pretty easy to avoid. They'll always home in on the location where you will last stand, so what you can do is sit still and start to move towards you. You can jump through the gap, like one of the bigger gaps distributed among the attacks, and then just go towards the side of the stage so that literally nothing Eggman does can touch you. But you can just take the slow and safer approach to playing this boss, and there's nothing Eggman can do. He can't do anything if you just exploit the tracking of the electric attacks like that to where they'll never ever be able to reach you. So when you take on the boss again in Sonic Mania, they took out the, well, they didn't take it out, but rather they tweaked the tracking property, so it will continue to follow you even after the attack is dispensed. But here you don't have that to worry about, so they're a lot easier to draw them away from you like that. Other than that, you just gotta pray and hope that Eggman decides to leave himself vulnerable so you can finish the job once and for all, and in turn, wrap up your experience with the first game in the Sonic franchise. Pretty smooth ride there, huh? Not a whole lot to it. And you don't have to nail that last hit against Eggman as he's flying off if you don't want to, but you might as well just to get the last laugh on this guy. He seriously thought he could just waltz on through South Island, roboticize all our animal friends, and have his way with the world. Then this cool blue dude comes along and is like, nah, Egghead, leave my playground alone. And we got all the Chaos Emeralds, so that just makes flowers appear, and that's pretty much it. Was kind of hoping for a more grandiose display, but first game in the franchise, so gotta temper your expectations here. And I did just mention the 7 Chaos Emeralds. I'm gonna have to show y'all that last special stage before I wrap up this series, right? So that's what we're gonna do after these credits here roll, of course. But yo, I was so excited to finally beat that special stage after like, what, 7 or 8 failed attempts at it. I think part of what helped was that I went back over my video for the Starlight Zone and reviewed what was happening there, and I gradually devised a strategy on how to get past the first half of it, because it starts you like the very edge of the stage, and you have to basically move in a half circle before you can go to the very center of it, where you can then get the Chaos Emerald. And there's a little bit more of that strategy as well, but we'll save that discussion for when we actually get to that stage. For now, let's talk about this game. And we'll speak, I guess from the perspective of the mobile remake. I thought about speaking from the perspective of the original version of Sonic 1 rather than the mobile remake, but that wouldn't make any sense if you just played the mobile remake, which dramatically alters your Sonic 1 experience from how you remember it. But that said, you could always disable the options that change up the experience, so you don't have to play it with the Sonic 3 shields, or the Sonic 2 item boxes, or basically any of that. You could just play the game as it was originally made in 1991. But as far as this game, it's obviously showing its age, as it being the first entry in the platformer formula for Sonic. There's definitely a lot of flaws with it, but those do very little to take away from the impact of Sonic's first game. And with it being my first video game I played, period, it's impossible for me not to enjoy every time I go back and play it. Sonic Mania is currently my favorite classic game because of how much it excels at capturing what made the Sonic Classic so great in the first place, but Sonic 1 is something I'll always harbor a high degree of appreciation for, and that will never ever waver no matter how much time passes by. And as of now, we're like 3 months away from officially celebrating Sonic's 30th, because the first game came out in June. When exactly? I think it was 21st or 22nd? I forget which day, honestly, but we know for a fact it came out in June 1991. Anyway, there is the ending where Eggman just jumps up and down throwing a temper tantrum because we took all the emeralds away from him. So, if you were wondering, turning on the 7 Chaos Emeralds in this game doesn't change anything about the ending, it's the same as ever. But anyway, let's go with Time Attack. Oh, huh? It ain't giving me the 7th special stage in Time Attack. What? Hold on, I might have an idea. I'll be right back. Okay, here we are at the 7th special stage. So what happened here was, I had another save file that I played quite a while back. I think when the mobile remake first got decompiled for being playable on the PC, in fact, and I immediately played through the game then. But apparently, I hadn't grabbed the 4th Chaos Emerald in the save file either, so I had to get that one first. And now here we are at the very same special stage that gave me a headache during the Starlight Zone. And so far it's going pretty well. What really helps is you continue to hug this wall like this, because there are gold spheres plastered along the corners, and obviously you don't want to fly right into them, even though avoiding that in the first place is pretty difficult to do because of the way these bumper spheres are placed. Like, it is flat out ridiculous. It feels like this stage, oh gosh, this stage was deliberately designed to take everything we found aggravating about the Sonic 1 special stages and made them even worse. And that right there is just but one example of what I'm talking about. Just one example. And the game, as always, delivers on its uncanny ability of proving my point. I'll be right back. I swear to God, dude, as soon as I beat the special stage, I'm never going back and playing it again. Never, never, never. 'Cause come on. Come on, man. It feels like this game was deliberately designed to force you to make a purposeful use of all the features associated with special stage while making it 10 times harder for you to do so without the possibility of failure. And I mean, sure, that was a thing for most of the other special stages. A few of them were a lot smoother than the rest, but mostly the second half of the special stages is where the headaches really, really started. Like, you could even see it when I was playing through the Spring Yard Zone. Oh god, no. Okay, we're good there. Mostly good. As long as the bumper balls there don't screw me over, we should be fine. But you could definitely see that while we were at the Spring Yard Zone, the 5th and 6th days in particular were giving me a headache. But here we are, and this is where things get 10 times more challenging. Thankfully, they were thoughtful enough to put the multicolored blocks over the exit spheres so you don't go sailing into them right away, but as you can see, they're all purple, or pink, whichever it is, which means that they'll only save you from making one mistake, and after that, you have to be extremely deliberate with how you throw Sonic through the very heart of the stage, because you go veering off the wrong angle, you're not gonna get the emerald. At all. I mean it, man. When I beat this stage, I'm never going back to it. Never. You couldn't even pay me $1 million to play this stage again. But so far we're doing fine. Well, we're mostly doing fine, and then now we aren't. Man, I don't understand what they were thinking when they made this layout. It's like Sega knows we hate these special stages and decided to make it worse. Deliberately. Okay. We're almost there. Almost there. Come on, Sonic. I am the uncontested Sonic God. Don't even at me, boys and girls. Don't even at me. I ain't gonna hear it. I'm the uncontested Sonic God. And look at that, boys. We got them all. And for the first time in the history of Sonic 1, we can become Super Sonic. If you're wondering, the rules governing Super Sonic are the same as before. Get 50 rings, double jump, and chicka-da-booyah! You'll become Super Sonic. Got that jibber jabber from Sonic CD if you didn't know. And Super Sonic works exactly as you'd expect him to. He goes twice as fast, and he's pretty much invincible to everything except drowning and crushing. Pretty sure you all know the rules about Super Sonic by now. Originally, he wasn't a possibility in this game, but there's another reason I'm happy that Rubber Ducky Cooley did the recent decompilation for the mobile games, And this is definitely the preferred version of Sonic 1 to play if you feel up for mixing in a little bit of everything. That's probably what the term Mega Mix came from. I still had to play the original Mega Mix ROM hack for Sonic 1. I never did get around to that, but don't worry, we're gonna fix that. But first, I'm gonna give y'all your one and only display of Super Sonic in this series, at least far as this playthrough is concerned. I'll be covering mods for this game as well, and there's already a mod floating around that I'm dying to showcase. I'm sure the maker of that mod, he may be watching this video right now, and I'm pretty sure he knows what I'm talking about. And no, the rings being drawn to you are not a property of Super Sonic. I picked up the electric shield before I became Super, which is why they're still following me. But yeah, man, Super Sonic looks super clean in Sonic 1. He looks exactly the same as he does in Sonic 2, looking at him. Maybe with a few adjustments here and there, though I can't really tell them apart from the rest. Maybe someone with much better eyesight than me can point them out. But yeah, that is Super Sonic that you can enjoy to your heart's content in Sonic 1, but only if you got all 7 Chaos Emeralds. If you just get 6, this transformation is not possible to lead. Even if you set the game to have only 6 maximum emeralds, I don't think you can become Super Sonic that way. You have to go through the pain that is the 7th special stage, which I refuse to subject myself to, excuse me, not object. I can't talk right now. But I refuse to subject myself to that agony ever again. Once, in this case twice, was enough for me. But man, I so badly wanted to show y'all my first actual completion of this stage, cause god, I was giddy as heck about it. It looked borderline untouchable to me. Like, I couldn't figure out if it was harder or easier than the Encore special stages in Sonic Mania. Y'all probably know what I'm talking about if you play Sonic Mania yourself. But anyway, enough jabbering from me. As far as what I think of Sonic 1, what more is there to say, really? This is where Sonic's legacy started, and this is where the legendary platformer formula for Sonic really shone through. And they would build upon it in the years to come, leading up to Sonic 3. And that was definitely one of the golden eras for Sonic, but not the only golden era like some purists will claim when discussing the many different eras of Sonic. I did originate in the classic era, and I still very much have a love for the classic games to this day. But honestly, if I did have to lean towards any era, like if I had to pick a favorite, I would more than likely choose the Adventure era. As to me, that was the pinnacle of Sonic's depiction as a character. His evolution as a character, rather. But whether I have my favorites or not, all of the mainline eras for Sonic's gameplay have left a considerable impact in one way or another. The Classics era, the Adventure era, and the Boost era. And none of that has changed in the slightest. The same holds true for Sonic 1. Even if you take away all the extra abilities you get from the other Sonic games, it's still very much a fun experience once you get used to the many quirks that are inevitably showing themselves over time. But yeah, it's totally a fun experience and one I would happily recommend to anybody. But I'm probably among the minority as far as those who still enjoy Sonic 1 to this day. Whenever you ask anybody what their favorite classic Sonic game is, they'll usually say either 2 or 3. And I totally understand why, cause those are quite better than Sonic 1. As they're meant to be, because they are powerful evolutions of the classic Sonic formula. They introduce multiple characters, and other memorable mechanics to the Sonic series, like Hypersonic, even though it was only a one-time appearance. But overall, guys, that is my experience with Sonic 1, and I very much enjoy bringing you this playthrough series for the mobile remake of the game, in a format in which I can actually play the game. Cause my god, I ain't trying to deal with Bluetooth controls on a mobile phone, no sir, that just ain't my thing. But yeah guys, that's gonna do it for this playthrough series, and I can't wait to bring you more playthroughs on this channel. Until then, let me know what y'all thought about this series with your likes and comments down below. I'm always happy to hear from you. Let me know what other games you'd like me to play through, especially Sonic games, as that is what this channel focuses on. So yeah, let me reword that question. Let me know what other Sonic games you'd like to see me play through, and I'll do the best I can to get to them over time. But for now guys, that's it for this series. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed what you saw, drop us likes and comments down below. And to keep up with this series, you just gotta hit that sub button and ring that bell, cause I would not want y'all missing out on anything whatsoever. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Until then, stand Sonic 1. Also, Blue Blur is for life. Peace out. Take care.